I enjoyed it. It's just, you know.
I thought it was good. I just didn't like the ending.
Okay, so guys, we are live on YouTube with a live reaction of episode 6, which was "What If Killmonger Saved Tony Stark." To say the truth, I actually liked the episode except for the very end. The end was shit.
Yeah, it's like,
Everything
oh,
else, I was actually into it. I was like, yeah, this is kind of cool.
no, the
because
story was great. It felt like a nice build up, but then it's like that ending hits. It's like, what? You're ending there?
I mean, Kinky thought it was way too obvious of an episode, and yeah, I mean, some of the things are kind of spelled out, but I think that like, you know, because of what he did in the, you know, in the actual live action Black Panther, I was like, yeah, so this is just him going about it a different way, in obviously a more successful way, but I just if I was assured that I'm going to get a continuation of the story in a later season, which I'm pretty sure they're going to, that's one thing, but like to end it like this, I mean, this is just. You have another episode that ended on a cliffhanger back to back.
Mm-hmm. Back to back cliffhanger episodes. Like, we don't know when the hell we're going to get a resolution to it, or if there isn't, it isn't even going to be one. You know?
Is that what that feels like?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I would love though, if this version of Killmonger, this Black Panther, because it ended with him. He is Black Panther. He had like the golden outfit at the end in the Black Panther movie. It would be awesome if this Killmonger ends up fighting the T'Challa Star-Lord. That would be an awesome
cool. That would actually be cool. Listen, here's the thing. This just furthers my point, though. These episodes need to be 40 to 50 minutes. They really do. I think
this needed to be a little bit longer.
But you know what? That's a testament, though. It's like we want more because it's good. You know?
Yeah, no, like, I was enjoying the episode. There's a lot of things I liked about the episode. A lot of it. I liked the story, and you know what? This one I thought was it was actually darker than the zombies episode. I mean, like they were killing off characters left and right, and I was like, oh
yeah,
damn.
really gruesome ways too.
Yeah, like Tony Stark dead, fucking T'Challa dead,
Rhodey,
Rhodey dead. You know what I mean? Oh, Rhodey. I mean, I call him Brody. Rhodey dead. You know what I mean? It was just like, damn, they're fucking killing everybody off, but it was in a brutal way. You know what I mean? And I thought that was cool because it's taking a risk. And then I don't like the ending, dude. I don't like the open-ended ending. You're like, oh, so they're gonna work together and they're gonna stop them. Did they do it?
But did they do it? Did they fail? Did you plan for that?
Right. Yeah. So it seems like I'm in the minority. I thought it was kind of underwhelming. Again, I felt like a lot of the stuff, like what I enjoyed, I think, so much about the T'Challa episode was that, right, he's still the good guy, but he ends up changing the bad guys, the Ravagers, into good guys and stuff. So I don't know. This felt just too familiar. It felt like it's basically the same, like you said, same Killmonger story, different way to get there.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's exactly what I wanted out of it. I mean, I like the beginning kind of deception of it, that it makes you think,
I liked all the callbacks to the first Iron Man movie. You know, it's a play on that film and the first Black Panther. I thought that was a really interesting mashup. Just like, again, you know, T'Challa and the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. You know, I enjoyed seeing the callbacks. I enjoyed seeing, you know, Killmonger. I mean, Michael B. Jordan's always really fun to listen to and follow. Like that character is just really compelling, even as a villain, you know? So I don't know. There's aspects of the episode I liked. It's just like the ending is just like, oh, god damn it. Like, please don't end like this. Because you're all looking, she's like, are they going to end it here? It's like, oh, no, they are. God damn it. Why?
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. We're like, okay, they're not really going to do this, right? Oh, fuck, they did it. You know what I mean? It's like, god damn it.
I think the end episode is going to be like a multiverse Avengers type thing. Or what it like, we'll have evil Doctor Strange, we'll have Peggy. Be interesting to see if Killmonger is a part of that, or T'Challa's Star-Lord, or so. I don't know. So I think hopefully they'll finish that off this season. That story, because that's too long to be like, oh yeah, you got to wait a whole another season, you know, for a whole other season to do part 2 of this.
Well, they've been talking about season 2 picking up with certain characters. They've already confirmed they want to do more stories with Peggy Carter, you know, Captain Carter.
There's also
so when they're shocking going forward, each season they follow up on certain stories.
Well, yeah, but they've also talked about bringing like those two into live action. Like I've heard that Peggy and the Supreme Strange are going to be in the new Doctor Strange movie, but and I don't know if that's like real or not, but like I think those characters, especially Strange, I think that the Strange episode, like it was trending that whole day, you know. Like I think it really was like the show was like, dang, this show can get good, and like if you're gonna bring anything to live action, it would be like like this is what you know. Do you guys Star Wars, Clone Wars? Do you guys watch Clone Wars
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
or some of
totally.
it?
Yeah.
It's like when you introduced Ahsoka and then you brought her in Mandalorian, and you're like, oh shit, you know, you took
Yeah.
this animated character that people love, and then you brought them in live action. I think that's what Marvel is trying to do. Like you saw Supreme Strange, and everybody loves that character. They're like, oh, I love how evil he is, how demon he is. He pops up in Multiverse of Madness, people are gonna lose their shit. And if he fights Archstrange, oof,
Yeah,
be
I agree.
epic.
Yeah.
I agree.
But that's if they go that route. I mean, obviously they're not just gonna do like they have a plan for everything. I mean, like there's no fucking way that they're making these episodes. They have no idea like how it's gonna connect to anything. No, these are all well thought out, and that's the great thing about Marvel is that everything they do is well thought out. Like there's a plan for everything, not like some of these other guys, another brand that we know about. But I mean, it'd be cool to see that kind of multiverse Avengers kind of thing happen within What If, because then it's like essentially you're creating a separate franchise within a franchise. So that's kind of cool. And then like these are building up to something.
Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't feel like because I like the idea, right? That it's a one off and doesn't build it, but building up to something within itself, I think that's a good idea. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, but thinking on the episode, I think Austin, he had a good point where it's like, the interesting concept of What If is like, okay, you change one event, how does it change the entire universe? I guess this episode, it didn't change Killmonger as a person. He still has the same goal. There's no changing him
there's no
personality-wise. It's him getting to his goal a different way. I mean, I like the idea of him pitting the United States versus Wakanda, manipulating both sides of the war effort. That was a cool idea.
Cool. I'm telling you, the story, I dug the story. I thought it was really cool how he's playing both sides. And they didn't see it coming. He was able to kind of, work both sides and get what he wanted, which that was really cool. But I just wanted to see it and see an ending.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess
the lack of an ending hurts.
Well, but they haven't really said like, oh yeah, and then in season 2, some of these episodes we're gonna follow up on them. And if they would have said that early on, then I'd be like, oh cool, so we're gonna get more of this tight, all right. But they haven't said that, so I can only assume that we're going to. But
there's no guarantee.
Sure. There's no guarantee. So I can only assume that they won in the end. But did Pepper and the other girl, did they figure it out?
Shuri.
Yeah. It's like what.
I guess so.
Yeah,
that's
Anthony, I do agree with what Anthony says here. They did show us how dangerous Killmonger is.
Oh yeah, he was a beast. Like again, every single time he killed somebody, you're like, oh crap, it had weight to it.
Go ahead.
I just love his performance even in the Black Panther movie. Like there was times in the movie, and I love T'Challa, but there was times I was rooting for Killmonger. Like I was like, damn, this is a very I can't think of the word, but he's a very understanding villain. Like the whole thing with his dad. There's that one scene where he does get the Black Panther purple. He gets that dream and he talks with his dad that's dead. And I was like, damn, dude. And I love how they made this character because in the comics he's not really like this.
No, this version is far superior to the comic version, in my opinion.
Yeah, same. I totally agree.
I mean, King Finger's got a good question here. A member of the show. He says, "You think they'd bring Killmonger back for live action?"
That's a tough question to answer because I feel like Ryan Coogler has a lot of creative input on the direction of the Black Panther franchise. And I feel like one of the biggest moments of that first film was the emotional impact of his death, his final words especially, to where if you bring him back in any capacity, it would almost cheapen that movie, take something away from it.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
But you brought back Gamora. You know what I mean? Like you have Gamora who's back and she's dead. But they brought her back from,
right. So, that's what she could be. He could be from. That's what I was gonna say. The only thing I guess they could do is he's from another timeline. But still, I think I agree.
I just don't think they want to touch that baby because Black Panther Oscar nominated movie. It's like seems like the prestigious Marvel movie, right? They don't want to touch that baby.
No, they don't. They don't want to fuck that up.
Yeah,
that's like the one franchise they're like, okay, we cannot screw this up. Whatever we do. We can screw up everything out. We can't screw this up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And there's so much riding on that as well.
we know nothing about the second one, Wakanda Forever. We know like nothing
all
about
we
that
know is
movie.
the name.
Yeah, they're keeping a lot of that movie close to the
I think
chest.
is Namor the villain? I think we know that Namor's the villain.
That's
right?
the rumor,
Namor.
but nothing's been confirmed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I think it'd be cool if he was the villain, because they kind of hinted at that in Infinity War. Although the Russos said that wasn't what they're planning on at all.
Oh yeah, the ocean earthquakes near Wakanda.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, I wish we would have thought about that ourselves." But I was like, "Yeah, right, whatever."
Yeah, right. Okay.
So I'm gonna put a question or a poll in the chat. Did you like episode 6? Simple as that. Yes or no. There, I just posted it right now. So we'll see how that poll turns out later on the show. But here, Droga, who actually thought that Droga thought that this was the best episode yet. He says, "Imagine the DC." We're talking about DC now. Imagine the DCEU Snyderverse version of What If Elseworlds. I think that'd be fucking badass. And
no, it totally would.
And that's what I was talking about the other day on the show. Was that not to copy what Marvel has already done, but they should have already announced like a series called DC Elseworlds, where it was a bunch of basically what if style.
I mean that's some of the best DC stories. I mean, for God's sake, Superman Red Sun.
I mean,
one of them.
You could
Deceased. You know what I mean?
You could say
Batman Who Laughs.
Warner. You could say they do technically have that with their animated, like the animated movies.
No,
like
they do. They do, but because you got like Gotham by Gaslight,
right?
You got all those movies, but now if you were to put it out there like, hey, this is DC Elseworlds, but what that would do, it would help define their version of the multiverse. But and that's the thing too, is like I've always wanted to go back to DC fandom and like tally up like how many times they use the word multiverse, because it seemed like they were like, hey, we know that Marvel has a shit ton of crap coming out, it's got multiverse involved with it, so in order to kind of beat them in the punch, let's just say it as many times as we can. You know what I mean? And that's all they had. They don't have any kind of, they have nothing that relates to multiverse except for Zach's movie when he says throughout the multiverse, Steppenwolf says that. And so like essentially, he beat them to the punch. They're probably like, damn it, he said multiverse. We want to set that up. But they haven't done anything to establish their multiverse, even though DC's known for their multiverse. They haven't done anything to establish it yet. While Marvel, I mean, honestly, they pretty much did it. They established their multiverse, in my opinion at least, they established their multiverse flawlessly. And they did just like almost like seamlessly.
It also matters. Yeah, it also matters who gets there first. And sadly, the problem with DC is that they're very slow to get the things. Where it's like, Marvel is going to be done with their multiverse stuff, or at least like wrapping up the multiverse saga with Doctor Strange.
Wrapping it up,
and then Flash will only be starting it by the end of the year.
I do think something. I think Zack Snyder, if anybody, proved right that I disagree. I don't think it necessarily matters who gets there first. Because, and I don't know, I could be in the minority in this. I think when you look at the two films, Zack Snyder's Justice League and the first Avengers movie, as the first team up films for those IPs for Marvel and for DC, I think Zack Snyder's Justice League is about 20 times better than the first Avengers film.
I agree.
I think the first Avengers film hasn't aged as well as everybody thinks. So I think it doesn't. I think that kind of proved it doesn't matter who gets there first. It matters, just kind of.
Well, it kind of does, because Avengers now has 4 movies, so now you're comparing something to 4 movies.
Yeah. Well, no. What I meant
I
was,
say that. I think we can all say I think Zack Snyder's Justice League is better than the first 2 Avengers movies.
No, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I would easily agree with that.
Yeah.
I think it's. I mean, in my opinion, I think it's better than Endgame. That's just me.
Infinity War would be like the closest one.
Yeah,
but
Infinity War would be the closest one. But I wouldn't say that one is better than the other, because I like both those movies, Infinity War and Zack Snyder's Justice League. That I don't want to take anything away from the other, because
it was different.
Thing. Yeah,
I saw Infinity War. I saw Infinity War in theaters, I had that experience.
That shit was fucking phenomenal.
Dude, when Thor came in Wakanda, my theater was screaming, bro.
Dude, that was like the dopest scene of the movie.
That's funny,
bro. I was like, fuck. You know what I mean?
And it sucks because we didn't get that for Zack Snyder's Justice League. I couldn't go to a theater and have that reaction with people, know?
Right.
No,
Yeah.
instead, we
yeah.
went to theaters and we saw this shit.
Yeah. Oh, something is definitely bleeding.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like
Every time I look back on that movie, you realize how worse it gets because you realize what you have the comparison to make. It's like it gets worse in your brain every time. It's like, how do they let this release? It looks worse every time you think about it. It's so bad.
it's horrible.
But no, what I meant was like getting there first. I don't mean that it matters who gets there first necessarily, like in terms of creative, because I think filmmakers build upon each other and that kind of stuff. What I mean is that the general audience,
Yes,
the normies are looking
audience,
at them like, oh, DC's copying Marvel. It's like the kind of like the general feedback, right? It's like there's like a misconceptions out there about certain things.
The everyday movie watcher, just the casual fan would end up saying, "Oh yeah, that's what Marvel has that," and they have a bigger reach at this point. I mean, and that's not taking anything away from them. Marvel's done an amazing job with that, and they've done it for years. So, it just goes to show you that when you have people in charge that have foresight, that have vision of what needs to happen, and how we're gonna do that, and they have cohesion, you see product put out that makes a lot of sense. They're like, hey, this has a lot of synergy. This makes sense. On the other hand, you got these guys who, frankly, are living in this world right here. And so it's like, I don't know, man. DC's got to figure that out. But going back to Marvel now, what is the next episode? You said the next one's a Doctor Strange episode?
No, it's a Thor episode, I believe. That's the rumor. Yeah, Party Thor.
Party Thor, where he comes to Vegas and gets some strippers, goes to the bunny house. It gets pretty wild.
That's a rough one, Droga. He went to the bathroom and Gamora died.
I remember when Zamora died. That was pretty upsetting as well. Zamora was pretty. I cried when Zamora died.
Did you?
I thought it was pretty. I was pretty upset. Zamora and Gamora, the two sisters, right?
You know what? It sucks because it took me like a while. I had no idea who you were talking about. I was all like, "Who's Zamora?"
Who's Zamora?
Zamora. I was at the bathroom when Zamora died. What? Stop.
What's he talking about?
The comment he's talking about was Zamora.
Who's Zamora?
From Event, that's the evil sister of Gamora, right? From Avengers. Did I see a different movie?
Well, technically they're two different versions. Gamora is now someone else, and we can call that version Zamora. So
Gamora is dead. Zamora is alive. I think Drago got that a little confused. I think Gamora is dead. Zamora is alive. She's the evil one at the end. It's late, guys. I don't know.
No, it's okay.
Austin,
it's okay.
You are too tired.
By the way, I was going to mention Kinky. I understand why you would cry after watching Justice League. I'm right there with you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So Jacob McKenzie writes, "What if episode 6 was one of the most bizarre but well-done episodes to date? The idea is certainly strange, but once again, Killmonger stands out as an amazing character." Yeah, and I think this also establishes, too, that, like, he is, especially did Michael B. Jordan? I don't think he did the voice, did he?
He did. Yeah, he did do the voice.
He did? Oh,
that wasn't Tony. That definitely wasn't Robert Downey Jr.
No,
it
wasn't Robert Downey Jr.
Someone in the chat was like, it was SK was like, "Oh man, Robert Downey Jr. is killing this role." I'm like, that's not him. That's not him.
He went really high at one point. He's like, "Guys, if we get Jarvis to what happened to
Yeah, for the most part though, it was okay. It was okay.
Out of all the animation, like his character looked the most cartoonist or cartoon.
Yeah, the face was a little weird. Like,
it was just kind of like
I don't know. By the way, anyone noticed during the dance scene where like Tony and Killmonger are at the bar that the side characters are really poorly animated? Like they're like moving like really jittery. I don't really notice that.
They just didn't put any. They're just like, who gives a shit?
Yeah,
they're staring at these guys, not everybody else. Don't worry about that. We're gonna save a little bit of money here.
We have a Robert Downey Jr. lookalike on there, right?
And that's a question too. Was Jeff Bridges in that episode?
No, sadly,
I don't think he was. I don't think Jeff Bridges will come back just for like
Gotta
a
save
few
some
lines.
money from the
Well,
rhinos.
he also, I don't know if you guys saw the news, but he literally just announced that his cancer went back into remission. He just got over a bad COVID battle, so he almost died, and he's now he's okay.
Wow.
So
It's fire.
Good. That's awesome.
yeah, no, I'm glad. Jeff Bridges is awesome. So,
but overall, though, I mean, okay, so if you had to rank the episodes at this point, right? To me, damn it, this one, dude, it was way up there until the very end, where I was like, and like right when RJ said it, he was like, "Don't tell me this is where it's gonna end." I was like, oh shit!
yeah, I know. I was
RJ,
like, please
why
don't.
would you say that?
I didn't mean to jinx it, but it's like when you see the Watcher, it's like, oh no, you see it.
No.
I was just like, no.
Yeah, whenever the Watcher shows up, you're like, oh, it's towards the
You're
end.
like, oh shit. But then again, in like Doctor Strange episode, he showed up a few times. And he even talked to him at one point. He was like, "You've been here the whole time." I was like, "Well, that's badass." Like you know what I mean? Like I liked how he interacted with him. He was just like,
"Oh no, that was awesome."
That was very cool. The kind of like the plea of like, yeah, don't punish reality in the universe.
Yeah, please intervene. Please save
that.
this universe.
Yeah, I agree.
No, but to me, this gives me more of a feeling that like they got to find a way to bring Killmonger back because he's a badass.
Yeah, it was like a part 1.
And you have Michael B. Jordan playing that character. I mean, that's big.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, it would be cool to see. Like, I still think you could still kind of give him a redemption arc within this What If, and kind of like, okay, now he's there. Like, he did all the bad stuff to get there. Maybe he's good now. Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's the thing that, like, let's say you were to bring him back. Would it be this version of Killmonger that ends up being brought back? Would it be another version that they run into in a different universe? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the question they got to ask themselves for sure.
Like, are they trying to establish or reestablish Killmonger's character in this episode and perhaps bring him back in a future episode or in another movie where you kind of reintroduce the character again, and it's the version from this episode of What If, and then but still he's a bad guy. Like, he fucking killed a lot of people.
Right,
like,
right.
He did a lot of bad things. I don't know if he can redeem himself.
He killed T'Challa.
The episode ended with him still being a bad guy. He was just like, yeah, I fucked all you over. Now I'm in charge.
Dude,
you know what I mean? Like, I was the whole time I was like, he's gonna kill his dad any second now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're just waiting for that moment.
Oh,
I guarantee you, if the episode would have been longer, the episode would have ended with Killmonger already knowing that Pepper and Shuri have this plan figured out, and he kills them and probably takes over as king. Like, kills the dad, which is what the episode should have ended on. But
it should have ended with like the office blowing up, like, you know, like, oh, he got him. You know what I mean? Fuck you.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would have been like, oh shit, yeah. See, I do like,
and that's the thing too. Jacob's had a good point. Michael B. Jordan's supposed to be Val Zod, supposedly in this other Superman movie. I don't even know when that's gonna happen.
Well, WB just doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
And then he's attached to like Static Shock, so it's just
right. He's an executive producer.
He's a very busy man.
Yeah, let's put it that way. He's a very busy man, and he's involved with a company that is also very busy.
That probably
not knowing what they're doing.
His help, to be honest, right now. He doesn't seem. He seems like
it's like I said the other day.
Over there.
The guys who are running the company right now, especially the WB, it doesn't get any worse than that right now. But you said you want to see the Rhino, right? There he is.
Oh
no, not that Rhino! I hate that.
I want to see Spider-Man.
I want to see Spider-Man. And then, so I mean, overall, I thought it was a good episode. I enjoyed it until the very end. Once again, I felt very underwhelmed because I wanted to see the conclusion of the story. I'm only going to assume that we're going to revisit the story in another episode of What If. I'm going to assume that. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say, yeah, we're probably going to go back there. And if that's the case, then we're probably going to go back to the zombies episode as well. And we know that we're going to go back to that Doctor Strange.
And Captain Carter.
So these are all going to come back around. And who had noticed it last time that, like, those tentacles that came through on the Captain Carter episode?
Oh, yeah.
Those are the same ones that Doctor
That might have been
Philip,
off. I think that was Philip.
Yeah, I think it was Philip. Yeah, Philip Barker said it. It's the same tentacle. So it's like there is some connection between these episodes. So they're going to do something. And if this leads to another team up within this What If universe, like I'm all for it, man. That's badass. Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, that could be an amazing finale if you have like every episode, all of the main characters unite to like fight a greater threat. That could be cool.
But I think
Zombie Thanos, yeah.
Dude, them fighting against Zombie Thanos would be amazing.
I think that like it wouldn't happen until the end of season 2 because you still have to establish more characters. I mean, like if you brought them together now, it'd feel rushed. It'd be like, whoa, what's happening? All of a sudden, they're like, hey, I know you. We're right. Let's go.
I got a feeling it's gonna be rushed. Though. I think the last episode is gonna be the team up episode. To be fair,
yeah, we've seen these characters. They're just a little different. Like it's not like we're just being introduced to them.
Yeah,
exactly. And then too, you think about it. How many movies before the first Avengers film? You had the couple solos, and then everybody's sequel. So I mean, it kind of makes sense. You've got a couple established: Peggy, T'Challa, and Doctor Strange.
Well, if next week is the Party Thor episode, I hope it's good. I have a feeling it's gonna be really stupid though.
I don't want it to be a waste. I don't want it to
listen. I know they got Chris Hemsworth back though, and that's a great plus because I think he's gonna bring in the comedy. It's gonna be a more comedic episode, but please make it an actual compelling story. Don't make it just a goofball comedy.
But that
what's the title? What's the title going to be? Just like What If Thor Partied?
No, I think it's going to be What If Thor Landed in Las Vegas. I think it's probably
Thor knocks up a stripper.
Who is Thor knocked up a stripper?
But I mean, like the episode was it episode 4 when what if we lost all the Avengers?
Oh, that was episode 3.
I thought that was cool the way they killed them off. It all made sense. Like because now Thor's immortal. And not immortal, but he's immortal, and he got shot by the arrow that killed it. The way they wiped everybody out, I was like,
Hulk's death was amazing. That was so brutal.
Dude, I thought that was funny, dude. He flew up into a fart. It was hilarious.
Yeah, a little marshmallow, dude.
Yeah, dude. I was like, oh.
But who was it? Hank Pym was in there, and he was the reason why he blew up.
Yeah, because Hope died. Nick Fury went to go recruit her, and she got killed on a mission by. The implication actually is that she got killed by Winter Soldier because of the location of the mission. The episode doesn't tell you that. I wish it did.
It was so almost implied.
Yeah,
and then but then when Hope is inside of, who was it? Agent Carter or what's her name?
No,
Sharon
Carter. Yeah, and then she expands and blows her up. She's like, "Oh, I'm cut." I was like, "Oh, come on, really? Like right where the pad is at?" It's like, come on.
Not even that. Again, this is going back to the zombie episode. I had some issues with some of the way it was handled with the comedy. I have no issue with like zombie comedy, but it's like she just blew up inside of like one of the last remaining friends that she has in this world. She's because like, ew, I got Sharon all over me. Like, come on.
It should she should have done that. And then
shake. I mean, like, she should have been shaking. Like, oh my god, Sharon's dead. I had to kill her like this.
She probably hated that bitch, anyways. They had that rivalry.
But that was the thing, though, is that they didn't want to make it too heavy-handed. They wanted to be more of a casual watch.
Well, that's the weird part, though. Some deaths I felt did have that weight. When Hope died and sacrificed herself to get them over, they were trying to play it up for emotional. Like, you did that with every death, or at least a couple more of them. That would have been interesting. Better.
Even the Bucky killing Cap thing was like pretty
weird. It's like, well, I guess this is the end of the line.
Yes, exactly. I was like, oh, like when he killed him, I was like, oh, that's it.
Yeah, he was like, all right, he's gone, piece of crap. I was like, oh. Yeah, that wasn't your friend for about 100 years or so.
I will say, though, being a Spider-Man fan, seeing Spider-Man with Doctor Strange's cape, mentioning Uncle Ben, like, there's a lot of cool Spider-Man fan service in that episode, which I appreciated.
And that's the thing, too, is that's the one thing that they haven't mentioned really at all, is the whole Uncle Ben aspect of his character.
It's probably because of Sony. I guarantee you, because this is weird. Like, why is it that only now it's being brought up in this Disney cartoon, It's just weird.
How many times does Vision have to die? Vision dies like all the time.
Oh yeah, Vision always. That poor Vision
dies. He always dies, dude. That was the one thing that bothered me about Infinity War was that like every 5 minutes, like fucking Vision was getting stabbed by somebody. Like he's getting
stabbed, thrown around.
Oh go. You know, it was like, fuck, this guy can't like go 5 minutes like getting
and
stabbed under
and
attack.
literally Vision's like, dude, they're gonna keep chasing me. Can I just please kill myself so we can just end this and go home? And it's like,
I mean,
no,
he even
Vision,
said,
no.
Just take the fucking thing out of my head. And he said his own eloquent way.
He tried to do it himself.
Yeah, and they were like, no, we're gonna try and do it the hard way and save your life. And then that ended up fucking them over because then it took too long. If they just would have pulled the shit out, or
Traumatized
blew it up,
Wanda. Yeah.
if Wanda just would have blew it up and killed him, it would have saved a lot. I mean, because then if you would have done that, like away, that if Thanos didn't see you, then like he wouldn't know what happened. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, if you have the
just
time
earlier in
stone,
the
though, they did
no, but, like,
establish.
at least he wouldn't know where it was at. You know, like
True, true.
They did it right in
Scat-
front of him.
yeah,
Like,
scatter-
bam,
Oh, they're just
Yeah,
trying
they're
to
gonna
what?
be.
They're just
Yeah,
trying to
it's
find
like
him.
he was
get
right
the-
there. Like,
get
okay,
the
well,
I
Wakandan
wonder why-
spaceship, scatter the Mind Stone.
yeah, he's like, let me just rewind time a little bit. There we go. And now he's alive. Give me that. You know,
That was a really cool moment, though. I love that. You know, it's like that sacrifice meant nothing.
I
Like,
know.
nope.
Oh, we don't.
It was emotional.
That was a really good scene. And then when he rewinds time, I was just like, no, you fucker. That was a rough one. And then you know, at the end of Infinity War, when they all started to like fade away and die, a couple of them like I did not expect. Like Black Panther, I did not expect him to die.
Oh yeah, I thought he would have stayed for any.
Yeah,
of
I
them,
was like,
totally.
oh shit, they killed him off. Okay.
Well, didn't like all of the Guardians die? Like didn't like all the Guardians?
Rocket.
All of them
Rocket
except for Rocket, yeah,
Rocket, yeah.
and Nebula,
Yeah, Nebula. Nebula was the other one. And like Nebula was like, she's like constantly crashing into like Thanos, like ah!
Right. I was so happy when Holland was fading out. That made me.
I was actually surprised that they killed
Wait,
him off.
wait,
because-
wait! Why are
"Hi."
you happy? Why are you happy?
Stand him as Spider-Man. He's. I really don't like him.
Oh, okay. I didn't know this. I
Yes.
didn't know this.
He
Yeah.
doesn't bother me that much. I mean, I get why he's annoying. Like in the What If episode, I thought he was super annoying. But overall, I mean, he doesn't bother me too much.
Far From Home was a big step up for me. I don't like Homecoming, and I wasn't crazy about his appearance in Civil War.
Really?
Yeah.
I
actually-
like
That's surprising because it's usually the opposite. People loved
Yeah, I was gonna
Homecoming
say, it's
and
the
Civil
opposite for
War,
me, yeah.
but hate Far From Home.
I liked him in Homecoming, and then Far From Home. The whole movie itself was just kind of lame.
I like Mysterio.
I
People
thought
say
he
they
was
don't
a
like.
lot.
I like Mysterio.
Well,
I like Mysterio, and
the whole story was underwhelming until the very end when you see J. Jonah Jameson, and then it shows Peter Parker is Spider-Man. That's when I was like, holy shit, and then it just ended. And I was like, fuck. What? And that's the other thing too is that like I felt like everything has ever since that scene. I felt like the MCU has kind of been on hold because you got Black Widow, which
It's a prequel.
it's a prequel, and then you have the Disney Plus shows, which have been great. But
Yeah.
that was the last like current moment where you're like, "Holy shit, what's happening?" And then
You're right.
but I
Yeah.
guess this is gonna explain everything and
And
why.
Shang-Chi's a
Black
little
Widow
bit like
even
a side
came out.
story. It's still in the main universe, but it's not continuing the main narrative.
Exactly.
Taking place kind of around the same time, I think, as Far From Home. Probably.
Yeah, taking place at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And if there was like a they're in that other world in Shang-Chi. Where the fuck were they at?
Oh, Tao Lo.
Yeah.
right.
So, but I wonder if is that not affected by what's happening in the rest of the world? With the multiverse being unleashed and everything. I mean, I don't know.
think it probably takes place right before the multiverse gets unleashed, so or something. They'll probably explain it. Timelines are confusing.
It is. And Zamora survived the snap.
I told you Zamora is the one at the end.
Yeah, and to Jacob, yeah, I did see that. I don't know why she did that.
But well, no, it's there's a lot more
So are we gonna
established
call-
in the MCU. What?
Are we gonna call the Thanos from Endgame not Thanos? We're gonna call him Thanos now.
What do you mean?
No, that's not Thanos. That's Xanos.
Thanos.
It's Xanos. It's not the same
Xanax.
character.
You know what I want to see? I want to see more of this Thanos.
Yes. Yeah.
And we don't know. I mean, maybe this is going to be the
Although
big bad
my
of the
question
What
is,
If universe. You know what I mean? Like, they got to stop
That's
this guy.
Zombos.
yeah, my question is, how the hell do you get zombified at Infinity Gems? You're telling me Thanos wouldn't be like, oh, use the gem, or like, reverse time so I don't get infected.
unless he got it and then I don't know.
What had
Yeah,
happened was
Tony
he
got
was
it
with
before
Party
that.
Thor at the brothel in Vegas. He let
Yeah.
the girls get a little too close, and they were so excited all that fun stuff.
And this led into the
Cross
events
through
of
the
Army of the
Tennessee.
Dead.
So we'll see what happens next week, guys. I might do one of these again next week if I'm able to.
Yeah, let's
if
see what the
not-
episode is first, though. So it's Party
Yeah,
Thor, and
yeah.
I'll be like, I don't know. Do we really want to get up at
Party
like
Thor
2 in the
back.
morning?
Party Thor, I might be able to actually save until the next day.
Yeah, that might be a next day watch. You know what I mean? But guys, thank you so much for coming on here, Gavin, RJ, and Austin. Let's go around the horn real quick. RJ, where can they find you?
Yeah, if you want to follow me, Resident Justice for YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. So,
all right, and Austin.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter right there, Alien LV1023, and then I'm on Pop Culture Corner, so you can check that out there every day. So,
yeah, I just realized that it's Austin Lynn. That was Alien. I always wonder. I was like, why does it say Alien?
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
It's Alien. I got it. I
Right.
figured it out. Level 23. I don't know. Okay, and then Gavin. Gavin's like, you can't find me anywhere.
all right, thank you, Gavin, for that
Well,
great input.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Gavin Cooley, and just around YouTube. I'm not on Instagram because I don't want to. So.
Now, Venom came out today, right?
It did. Or no.
They had,
came
fan
out.
screenings in the UK. They screened it early for fans.
Yeah, I already know that. I already know too much about it already.
Oh yeah, same. Well, it doesn't help when you got people like Grace Randolph dropping the spoilers. Like, please, Grace, why?
I don't know why she's doing that for, but I was like, oh, all right, whatever.
Are you for real? That happened? I don't know anything about it.
Like,
yeah,
if you
don't check her Twitter.
Yeah, if you go online, just put in end credit scene Venom, like Let There Be Carnage. Bam! It's like everything you want to know is like right there. But it should be cool. It's only an hour and a half, so it's just like a longer TV episode.
Right.
Yeah, I heard it goes by super quick. Like it's like a briskly paced movie.
But you know what?
Yeah.
For a Venom movie, a Venom versus Carnage movie, I think that's fine.
I do
because
too.
you don't
I just want to get straight to the
dialogue
action.
scene.
Yeah.
Exactly. You just want to get to it and get it over with.
Get
you
me
don't want to
Woody
have these
Harrelson,
scenes. Yeah,
guiding Tom Hardy, and let's just get to it.
Let's just get to it. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this whole thing here. But cool, you guys. Thank you so much for coming on here. I'll hit you guys up again if I'm able to do another one. And guys, everyone watching at home, leave your comments in the comment section down below. What did you think of What If episode 6? Well, I thought it was a good episode. I liked it a lot. The ending sucked, but you know, it is what it is. And guys, stay tuned for this Saturday right here on Talk Nerdy to Me. We're gonna have Zack Snyder's Justice League watch party, members only watch party, and we're gonna do chapter 2 or part 2, I should say, which is the Age of Heroes. So it's gonna be really, really cool. Check that out. It's gonna be awesome. And then I don't have the graphic for it, but coming up this Thursday on the Four Nerds, we're gonna have Liz Wonder on the show. We're gonna be talking to her about her latest photo shoot for the Vero exclusive that she put out, and talking to her about just the latest movie news and find out what's going on with Liz Wonder these days. An amazing cosplayer, and dude, she does a lot of those photos by herself. Like she does it herself. Yeah, it's crazy. She's extremely talented at that kind of stuff. So she'll be on the show, and it's gonna be a lot of fun, guys. So definitely check that out. And yeah, with that, you guys, thank everyone who came out here. Thank you, the members of the show, Prakash, the newest member of the show, of the channel. And I will be back on what day is it today? Yeah, I guess next time I'll be on, it'll be Thursday and then Saturday for the watch party. So I'll see you guys then. Guys, you have any parting words for everybody else who's still here?
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. It's been an awesome watch party. Nice conversation. Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, right. Thanks for having us. Don't forget Zamora. Hashtag Zamora.
Hashtag Zamora. All right, we'll see you later.
So how's your hernia?